Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Jordan, also known as JMonster, and we're going to be playing some more SFO Grimhammer with the Sisters of Twilight. I believe this is episode 5. And when we left off last time, we'd created a new lord down in the Enandria Turnos. He's a big Zote lord. I'm really excited to get him on his feet, but before we can do that, we're probably going to need a little bit of extra income. So, with that in mind, I think we're going to be farming rebellions for the next couple of turns. That seems the most likely outcome, because I think Venom Glade and such are going to rebel before we can like fully pacify the region. DJ Hotep wants defensive alliance. I'm happy to do that for you, buddy. There you go. So we've got two pretty decent allies. I also managed off-screen to get Nagarythe to give us a couple of treaties. These guys are probably declaring war on us. They certainly are. And they're kind of like out there, Karand Kar. So they're like farther north in the tundra. So I think we're probably going to end up... I think this is really my fault because I pushed too far north. Like if I'd have left the Circle of Destruction and like left it as a ruin rather, DJ Hotep probably would have colonized it, and then it would be his problem, not necessarily mine. But I think it's really inevitable anyway if we want to go anywhere northward. But now we have... Ooh. Search for Kathan Har. Oh, that's going to be our dragon mount. That'll be really, really nice. Oops. Can I look at stuff? Clark Harond. Quest aborted. That's okay. Really like to know what we're going to be dealing with in terms of enemy forces. That'd be really easy. We could take that. Maybe that's what we'll do for this turn. I'm pretty sure that if we were to... I wish I could figure out where the hell this is. Like, is this a... Oh, it's right there. Interesting. So I think we could select her. Won't let us teleport? Okay, so if we were to go out here, leave the settlement briefly, it's actually doing okay now in terms of public order, because a lot of that went away, so we might be okay for a turn or so. Hotek's column is having issues, but now we should be able to teleport over there. Yeah, I do. I think we can probably do this. I hope. It's given them way better odds than it has any reason to, but I'm assuming that that's because there's multiple waves, you know? So we're gonna fight this. Hopefully we don't get absolutely dumpstered. I think we should be okay though, but this seems, I don't know, this seems like there's gonna be something else to this, you know, that's gonna make it difficult. So I'll see you guys on the battlefield. Okay, this is spooky. I'm definitely going to give you guys the intro to this.
Where's my dragon, cloven ones?
Patience, Arahan. Behold, the horned shaman performs some dark rite with their obscene stones. I know not the intent of these servants of chaos, but it surely bodes ill.
More pointless busywork, Naestra. How typically tedious of you. Well, at least I get to slaughter a few beastmen.
I sense a far greater reward than indulging your childish bloodthirst, sister. Kathan Har is near, but bound and in shadow. If we can stop this fell ritual, perhaps our winged friend shall at last be revealed to us.
I thought I smelled something else too. In the trees. No, it's... probably nothing. Let's go get our dragon back. For the forest!
So this was a super intense, ooh, a little bit of lag there, super intense match. And it's actually really long too. So we're going to take to the skies here, and we're going to start increasing our air force. We're going to summon the Great Eagles right off the bat. We're going to move forward with our Hawk Riders, and we're going to start skirmishing with these Harpies up here in the sky. So I really want to take them down. Don't want them getting anywhere near my Glade Riders, or not my Glade Riders, like my Glade Guard, and like tying down my back line. AI is not normally smart about doing that sort of thing, but nonetheless, should take care of them just in case they have a moment of brilliance and they really start to be a pain. I'm also going to try and deal with the Cygor they got just chilling up here. He's going to yeet that Waystone from downtown, and one of the Elven Waystones is going to take, gonna claim the lives of, I think, one of my Great Stags? No, it didn't hit them. But I will start to bring them out onto the wing to just try and, because it's focusing on him, right? So I don't want them to hit anything else. And I'm gonna try and use my Great Stags as bait and just use their mobility to try and like bob and weave and maybe dodge some of that Cygor ammunition. Sisters of Twilight, really giving him what for though, shooting him right in the booty. Ooh, explosive diarrhea. Not pleasant, not pleasant at all. And that Cygor is gonna take a decent amount of damage right off the bat. We're starting to chunk away at him. Up here, the Harpies getting tied down with our Forest Eagles, and there's a lot of Glade Guard support, so they're basically just going to melt. Ungor is going to try and flank around through the woods, but we are very much ready for them. And our Eternal Guard up here moved up in a double line, so there's two of them. And the Sisters of Twilight are up there in support as well, and those Ungors and the Harpies are really just taking it on the chin. But a lot of these Harpies are actually going to move in, they're going to tie down our Lord, and lots of little entities like that in the air. It's actually pretty brutal for her to try and fight. So we're just scything through the Cloven ones with just everything we got. Ton of ammunition coming in here, bringing in some of our Eagles as well. Wherever the enemy blobs up, that seems to be the strategy, or like wherever their like chariots and things like that are, that's where our Eagles should be. But like right here, this is exactly where we want those Eagles. I'm going to start just like tearing things apart here. So those Ungors getting absolutely beat down. Not even a contest, and they're going to start to rout pretty quickly. Their Lord is here as well, Ulrich Blood Drinker, or whatever his name is. Down here, Great Stag Knights, along with some Eagles, responsible for dealing with the Minotaurs. There are some Ungor Spearmen mixed in there, but you know what? Use a transformation of Dawn Great Eagles, and we probably won't leave the Great Stag Knights in there for too much longer. Hopefully not, because they're actually getting kind of shot up here, so I'm trying to like extricate them from that. Ungor is going to start shattering, and then the rest of these guys are going to be not long for this world. I got some Minotaurs here as well. I have Harpies that we're trying to chase off, and so far the first wave of Beastmen is dealt with. But of course, as we suspected, there are far more of them on their way. A second wave coming down from the hills, and we're going to have to rapidly redeploy in order to meet their advance. So the Glade Guard firing very nicely over those hills. Most of these things are like completely gone. They're shattered. And I can see some Eternal Guard that I have nearby, so I'm going to redeploy my reserves, bring them through the woods here. That Cygor is still up there, but thankfully we'll be able to bring in a Great Eagle in order to stop him from shooting at our infantry and other things that we care about. Eternal Guard and Great Stags also moving up the hill. And I'm expecting another advance from Beastmen to come down from this way. So we're going to start to get ourselves ready and point ourselves in the right direction, so that as soon as they come out of those woods, as I expect they will, then we'll be able to shoot at them immediately. Unfortunately, some of the Minotaurs have managed to get in to our Glade Guard here, and they're just, oh yeah, that guy getting bisected and just skewered on those vicious horns. So something's going to have to give there, and something will need to be brought to bear. And I do see it, so I'm going to bring in my heroes, because they're kind of anchoring the line over here on my left-hand side. Eternal Guard here, pretty beat up from the fight in the center, but they are ready to do their duty, and they're standing in the most likely place for the Beastmen to advance through, while I try to rapidly move up with Glade Guard and other things, and another shot there into the Cygor that will actually shatter them. See some Ungors over there, and initially I wanted to go for the Ungors coming around this way, but there's just like such a big blob here that like, I figured I could get a ton of value off of my Great Stags, and I'm going to throw them in there, but unfortunately I don't follow it up with an attack from the Eternal Guard, and I leave them in there too long, and they're going to end up getting surrounded. We're not... Well, you'll see what ends up happening to them. But while all of that is happening, we're going to rapidly redeploy here with all of our fast movers. Eagles of all description, Great Eagles, and also Hawk Riders, moving forward to basically give them the same treatment here that we did over in the center. And just, yeah, goon up on all of their Ungor units and Gore units, and just try and cause like terror routes and things like that. Eternal Guard here coming face to face with Rook Rat Eater, and also getting shot in the back by their friends, which is not very nice. Volley of Kernus there, ripping through them. I do manage to get the Great Stag Knights out of there, and the Great Eagles are going to be holding the line. Our Spellcaster is going to cast Overcast Flock of Doom, and that's going to do a ton of damage to these Beastmen in the center here, and they're just going to slowly but surely start to melt. More Hawks coming in, more Glade Guard and things like that, but there's another Beastman lineup that's coming over this way. So I thought they'd come from up here, but unfortunately they're going to come from behind us, and they've got like, they've got Minotaurs, they've got some Chaos Spawn, a whole bunch of really not nice things. Luckily, most of their chaff is just Ungor units, and they've got 1 or 2 Gore herds, but I only actually just realized in this battle that the regular Gore herds don't have shields. So we're just going to massacre them. And this one over here is going to take so much damage from the Glade Guard, already ready to go up on the hill. And they're going to be covering while some of their friends retreat. And there's just multiple lines of Glade Guard here just chunking in to these Gores. And they're just getting completely devastated. Wood Elves really giving them the business here. And they're actually not even going to make it to the front line. They're just going to run off. I think there's more transformation of Dawn Eagles being thrown into the fray here as well. Actually, no. Kethan Har is going to drop a big old breath attack onto these units, and then he's going to join the fray. So we do get the dragon in this, which is nice. Really giving these Chaos Spawn the business here. And that's just going to allow us to like freely fire in. So the Chaos Spawn already rampaging. These guys running for their lives, and I'm going to bring in my Hawk Riders to try and make sure that they stay gone for good. And the rest of the Glade Guard and stuff, just, yeah, firing away. Dealing with the Ungors as best as we're able to. We have some other second lines of Eternal Guard here. And then, this is where the final wave starts to come in. And it's going to be Skaven. There's a lot of weapon teams up here. So I've got a couple of Doom players, I think that's what they are. I'm trying to target them out with my Legendary Lord. Yeah, nice shot there. And I'll do a little bit of damage to them, but honestly we're not really doing a lot because there's trees and stuff in the way, and yeah, the sisters are... They're doing their best, but they're basically solo at that point, just trying to delay things and trying to deal what damage they can. Over here, we've finished off most of the Beastmen, and now they're gone for good. Sending more Great Eagles to make sure that they stay that way. And then redeploying. Oh, I'll say they have their Lord over here too. He actually came back from a route, and that's going to be enough for him. I think he's going to shatter there. Yes, he will. So now our dragons and everything are free to come over this way. And Glade Guards, actually, they're out of ammunition, which I didn't realize at the time. They're going to form up. Everything else that we have is going to form up on the top of this hill, and they're just going to unleash hell as the Skaven emerge from the undergrowth. Doing everything that they can. There's also some weapons teams in the back that are returning fire, and they're going after, I didn't realize it at the time, but they're going after my Great Stag Knights. And so the Doom players moving forward, and we kind of lost Micro in a lot of the moving pieces in our army, and the Great Stag Knights are only just going to get their charge off. And yeah, some friendly fire from our Lord as well. So once I see that the Great Stag Knights are really getting hit hard, I'm going to basically cast every buff I have on them. To keep them alive. The Jezzail teams from the tree line doing a lot of damage to us. Some spells coming in from on high, ripping through our Glade Guard, and one of them actually blew apart the first line of Eternal Guard that we had, and basically sent them into a rout immediately. Over here, the Eternal Guard blobbing up the Skaven slaves, doing basically what they do best. Kethan Har coming in support. And gonna drop a big old breath attack on some of these Skaven slaves here. I think we definitely want to see that. Yeah, just devastating those Skaven. And that'll basically cause a mass rout on this entire wing, which is going to allow us to push forward and push our advantage. I will also isolate their lord here. Zap Spark the Thief. Tried to throw another volley of Kurnis, but it was not the best position. They're kind of behind like the waystones there, like Grey Herd stones or whatever they are. Some magic dropping in, Flock of Doom. Dealing damage loss to these Skaven, and we're starting to clean them up in the center, but there's still the Giselle teams in the back. Yeah, they're kind of a problem. They're like shooting our Lord, they're shooting our Great Stags, shooting our Glade Guard, and actually dealing a decent amount of damage to them. So we're just going to pursue with Glade Guard through the tree line. Fairly confident at this point that we've like won it, and there's really just like Giselles and stuff that we have to deal with. So have Naestra converging on them, have Deliana, our spell singer, just dropping nukes here wherever the Skaven slaves are. Boom. That's like that last scene out of the Two Towers where the Uruk-hai like run into the forest and then never come out again. That's basically what we're going to see here. A lot of Wood Elf infantry now pursuing them. Still a lot of stuff on the back here. Managed to get Zap Spark the Thief, so these 2 units of Blade Guard and Eternal Guard are going to pursue him pretty well to the death. Doesn't really matter though, because this is a quest battle, he's going to die anyway. There go the Doom Flares. I never seem to be able to wipe them out. They're just so fast. Have good enough mass that they just like run through things. So yeah, they're pretty hard to pin down. And Hawk Riders here as well. Yeah. Fire being laid down from on high by the sisters. Skaven slaves are not having a good time. Nice little cinematic shot there. They get just like blown up, and all manner of forest creatures are just like chasing them and pursuing them to the death. That's basically going to be it for this game. So we're going to win this. We'll get the Dragon Mount, and yeah, that's pretty awesome. This is a really cool quest battle. Very challenging. I can only imagine how much hell this is to do on like Legendary. Like, you'd have to be perfect at it. But in any case, I'll see you guys back on the campaign map. What a marathon. That was ridiculous. See, I knew there was going to be more. Look at that. I'm like, one army? That seems okay. 4 armies. 4 of them, including the Skaven, who are just like, yeah, what's up? We're here. Okay, whatever. But I think that means we get a Dragon Mount for her now, which is super, super cool. But I don't think we'll get the same, like, speed bonuses, so there'll definitely be some trade-offs to be made there. For this one, I think this is absolutely necessary, because we could end up getting attacked.
Tempestuous Arahan.
The forge is lit. Hooray, that's lovely. I just got a Regiment of Renown, the Hawkeyes of Drakira. I don't remember what they do. I think they have like area attacks or something. 5,000 bonus experience, so she just jumped a lot of levels. I think she was like 15 before. Get Cathan Har, which is great. The Enigmas of Gyren. Oh, that's going in our Zote army for sure. Call to Cathan Har. Call to Gwendolor. Oh, we get both. Okay. Okay. Well, let's see here, because like the mobility is probably better for her, to be perfectly honest. But if we look... Okay, currently we're mounted on Cathan Har. What does that do to us? Only be changed once per turn. Okay, so it did it for us automatically. But I think the smart thing would be to have them on the eagle so they can like pursue and just be a pain. And then just use the dragon separately. Because then we're not putting all of our eggs in one basket. Like, that makes the most sense to me.
Twin defenders of the glades.
Put her on a great eagle? I don't think I'm going to do that. I like her magic attacks. We're kind of running out of stuff for her, eh? Got 1 point to spend. Well, we're going to use that on cooldowns for spells, because that's way too useful. And that was super important in that last game. You already do a ton of damage, but this also increases our missile strength? Okay, like, factors in. This is actually better. And then they've got 4 points. That's crazy good. So we'll do this for sure. Passive ability plus den plus the base damage for 50 meters. That's okay. We tend to use her a little bit more like far afield, like she's like running around and like doing stuff, so that one's kind of, I think it's a little bit situational. That would be better for a lord like Durthu or something. Or this one would be better for a lord like Durthu. This probably makes more sense for what she is, but we'll see what else we want to invest in here. I think Quartermaster is obvious. This will be helpful moving forward. And then we don't really have access to any new units yet, so it's hard for me to know what I want to invest in down here, so we'll leave that for now. Melee defense, that'll be nice for her later. We have had to commit her to close quarters a few times. Impenetrable bark, ooh, that's big. That's like nearly, yeah, that's nearly like 25% extra armor. That's really huge. HP, she's got a decent amount of HP. But she'll have less because she won't be on the dragon. We mostly use her as sort of like a mobile artillery platform, so I don't think these two are particularly relevant to us right now for how we've been using her. But 10% warn save, that's easy. We'll do that. Can't believe I didn't see that one earlier. Let's see. Can we build anything else for her? Some Glade Riders. I don't really care about the Glade Riders unless they have Hagbane tips. Although, to be perfectly honest, their missile strength... Okay, it's lower, their range is lower. But I think they have... Is it anti-infantry or anti-large? Well, that's just their melee attack, though. Oh, that's just from one of our abilities. That's not, like, based to the unit. I was thinking, because there's only 20 less of them, if they were, like, comparable to the Glade Guard, then it might be worthwhile. Got better HP, their speed is way better, melee attack is better, their defense is better, their ammo is a little bit less, and their range is a bit less, and their missile strength isn't as good. Okay, so there's some, like, real choices there. But I honestly don't think I'm capable of microing that much cavalry. I think our strategy so far has been kind of tried and true, and like I would love to use the Glade Riders more, and maybe we can build an army around using them, but for right now, I do not have the skills to do it, and it would just be ugly, so we won't do that. The Witchwood can now upgrade, which is good. Untainted +6. What's it currently giving us? That's extra income. Okay, we'll do that. Perfected Dreaming Boots. Cool. Yeah, that's easy. It's basically a no-brainer every friggin' time.
When do we fight?
I think the second that she leaves, Cotex Column is the only one we have here. So what we'll probably do
Awaiting bloodshed.
Moving with
move
grace.
her along here. So that as soon as a rebellion pops up, we can deal with it. Or like on the next turn, we'll like move her in.
The unbridled glory of
And then this can continue to get some public order. Let's go down here. Oak of Ages. I can't really afford to do anything with this guy just yet. But I'm so excited to use him. Like, when we get there, we're definitely giving him the Enigmas of Gyra. I don't even care what they do, honestly. I don't care. We're going to use them because it's thematic. And that's kind of how I'm going to play this. Dampen. Oh, minus 25% magic resistance. So they'd actually work nicely with like him as like a goon squad. If we wanted to build that around like magical damage. I think we've got a few options there. If we like look at him. Just thinking ahead a little bit. Recruit regiments over now. No. Recruit hero. That's what we wanted. So we can maybe build him around a Spell Singer or a Branch Wraith or something. Chosen of the Forest. Not sure what those are, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when we get there. But yeah, I think that's probably good for now. So let's go ahead and pass that turn. Okay. Don't mind and all of that. That's okay for now. Actually, hold on. We should keep like a strong eye on this place, because there's lots of enemies that surround Ethelloren that could kind of like pop up at any time. Factions encountered, the Vanaheimlings and Sylvania. Okay, so they're over here. That's mostly because of our holdings down southeast. Vanaheimlings are way up here. I don't know how we encountered them. Probably diplomatically? Yeah, something like that. Actually, speaking of diplomacy, why don't we see what these lads are up to? No, they don't want to play nice. That's okay.
We will see our homeland persist through all the coming
He really
ages of
doesn't
the
want to join our
world.
Confederation, but he's getting there. Recent events involving Paravon? I have no idea what that means.
You inconstant worm. You shall
They
yes.
might accept that now. Good. That'll improve that and get us on the road to some extra stuff with them. Okay. That's all we can do for now, I think.
Serene
With
Naestra.
her,
Tempestuous Arahan.
what are we gonna do?
Why do we waste time?
Why do you waste energy?
The Sisters of Twilight.
We're gonna wait. Like one more turn will be all it'll take.
I am content.
Hotex column.
I am
How's the
bored.
garrison there? Terrible. Kindred turns into a new one is available. It'll be a while. And once we get all of this settled down, then I want to go maybe to the Witchwood and think about going over here, because I think it'll be a while before this fellow's army is online. So, actually, if you guys have any name suggestions for him, or if you want your name to be on this lord, by all means tell me, in case you haven't already. If I haven't already done it and you've left a comment, it's just because I'm recording these as like a big bunch. So I'm like doing them like one after the other. So I'll be able to update things as the episodes come out, and I actually see comments being made. So yeah, that's why it hasn't been done already, if you were curious and if you already asked. I really don't like just sitting here for a turn,
Duty.
but it is kind of helping out with the public order in these two areas, so it's probably a necessity unless we want to be playing whack-a-mole for a million years. So we're gonna pass another one and we'll move on.
We speak as one, and the
Hot
forest
test. What's wrong,
speaks
bud?
through us.
Join war against... I am not doing that. Although, how inevitable is it? If they continue pushing... That's a hard one, because I would like to go and do those foresty things. But we can't really do that with the army that we have down there. But I think war with Nagaroth is basically going to be inevitable anyway, so like this might just... It's obviously going to push us into a fight a little bit before we're ready. You know, we don't actually have to do it right now, but I will offer to join their war later, and we'll do it as a diplomatic thing once we deal with some of the rebellions here. But now that I stop and think about it, I think that that's an inevitability. Obsidian Peaks. That's cool. Just some lizardmen things. Don't need to worry about that. Uh-oh. Perfect. So if we're to
Itching
enter...
for fresh battle.
Let's say we're to enter this
With
province like
grace.
real quick here. That'll still be enough to cause the rebellion on the next turn. Good. And then we can deal with it. We won't lose Hotex column, and that's going to bring their public order down a bit. I wish I could turn off taxes, but I can't. My finances just aren't in a place where that's really doable. It'll be a bit better once this is up on its feet. And the Enedri Eternos, Oak of Ages. And upgrading it doesn't give us money, which is unfortunate. But it does give us extra public order once it's done, so that will be super helpful for us. And I think we should be able to stabilize things here in the next few turns. I don't think there's too much else we can do diplomatically otherwise, so I'm not going to waste any more time with that. We're just going to go ahead and pass.
We have no
there it
cause
is.
to
There's
converse
that
with
rebellion.
Nagaroth.
Hargonet's probably going to
Never
declare war on
trust
us right now. Okay, so it looks like we're going to be getting drawn into a big fight here. Which, it's a good thing that we've invested into Lightning Strike, because I got a feeling we're going to have to deal with some stack spam. Yeah, bad feeling about that. So they're going to start raiding. That's going to hurt my money. So I want to deal with them basically right away before they get any stronger. That, we won't even have to go to a battle for that. We'll just resolve that one.
It will be a glorious battle.
Yeah, that's easy peasy.
Make it quick. Make them
5
scream.
upkeep. No, we can't
Forgive us.
really afford
There
to
is
do
no
that.
other
It's not going to
way.
matter anyway.
Ariel grants
I'm not going to let them
clemency.
go, so we'll just kill them. Forge of Daith is lit AF. Alright. Perfected
The
Eagle Bow.
seasons smile upon us.
Nice. And this will do what? Greatly depletes ammunition. Pageant of Shrikes. But it's only 5 turns. Like, see, if that was like 15 or 20 turns, then it might be worth passing over something like this, but it's just not.
Made perfect.
Why grant Naestra tools of war?
Cooldown to spells. That's really nice. What else do we have here, though? Tax rate +1. Oh, that's kind of nice, but these aren't really the most rich provinces, so I don't think we'll get much out of that. And we do have a lot of battles coming up, I would expect.
When do we fight?
Only
Okay,
when necessary.
so we're going to be ready basically on the next turn. So let's talk to our buddies here. Military alliance. I will join their war against Nagarond and Haggrafe. We're going to eventually have to fight Haggrafe. We're going to have to fight all the Dark Elves, so I think this is okay. And I'll offer them a military alliance at the same time. Give that to me. Great, so now we can work with them.
Serene Naestra.
We'll upgrade our Waystalker a little bit.
Arahan.
Prey of Anathrema. Do we not have that already? Oh, we don't. Well, that's actually really useful. 20% missile resistance as well. Hidden Paths. Ooh, an extra 10%. Oh, that's really nice. That's really, really nice. And that will help us overall. Prey of Anathrema, though, once we start fighting, like, scary legendary lords, like, so far it's just been kind of flunkies, but once we start fighting, like, genuinely frightening legendary lords, then I think this will be really very much needed. I don't know when we're going to have another moment to upgrade, so... Ooh. Ooh. Oh, they'll be able to attack Hotex
How I
next turn, so
enjoyed
we might have
that.
to... We might lose it. Well, I won't repair it
Ariel's
in that
will
case.
triumphs once more.
Inseparable.
Invincible.
I'll send skill points. It's probably to one of our other lords. Yeah, I figured it was him. He gets another 2. Nice. I really like the way that they balance skill points in this. I have to say, just in the event that someone who's related to SFO was watching this, I really like the way that they've done the skill points. It's paced extremely well. Like, I feel like I'm actually making progress with my lords instead of like one skill point here, one there. Like the vanilla, it's not as good. But like the way that they've paced this, beautiful. What do we want? Do we want Foe Seeker? I don't think we really need Foe Seeker. Flesh to Stone is really nice. And that'll be, I think, necessary in the event that, like, something big and scary comes our way. But we will go Foe Seeker now. Because he's, like, got a nice little layout of spells there. Lots to cast that'll give us, like, a default, like, Earthblood. Not quite so much as this Earthblood, but this is actually really nice. Yeah, because we'll be casting lots of these, like, offensively, because I think that's what this lord will be a bit more focused on, so we'll get Earthblood a bit later. How's our Witchwood doing? Oh, they're almost there, eh? Diplomatic relations with Dark Elves. +2 recruit rank for Zote Lords. That's why he got extra recruitment rank. Forced health in Athel Lauren. -1 construction time for magical tree things. Settlement upgrade here is available, thank goodness. So Vol's Anvil is going to get increased.
Itching for fresh battle.
Ariel's legion grows weary.
That's okay, we'll pass on that. Do know one of these for sure. And we'll pass all. We'll pass this turn, and then hopefully we don't lose. Yeah, we are gonna lose it. That's okay. Damn, I almost feel like we should fight it, but it'll just be game over. So we'll let that happen. They'll lose a little bit. And then we'll have to retake it. That's just how it's got to be. They came out of nowhere. There's nothing we could really do about that. Oh, they really hit too. That really sucks.
Twin defenders of the glades.
There will be blood!
Well, we can't auto-resolve it. Their garrison is pathetic, though. And a lot of these units are weaker. So this really sucks. Because we declared war on Nagarond and everyone else with the assumption that our rear was clear. Like, I thought these guys were over on the coast. Farther north, but they definitely weren't, and they were behind us. That's a big misstep on our end.
Sister.
And that's mostly me being a bit of a noob. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass a few turns here, just so it's not just us sitting on the campaign map. And then I'll rejoin you guys in just a few moments. Alright, so they actually did attack us, and they brought up some reinforcements, but it's only a Sorceress Supreme. So we actually need to, like, win this battle handily and take minimal casualties, because Hag Grafe, and what's her name, the old crone lady, Crone Hellebron, she's already come down south, and she's near the Circlet of Destruction. So yeah, this is a nail biter. I think we'll probably get both those battles in on this episode. So this one's gonna be like triple battles, so I hope you guys are enjoying this so far, and I'll see you on the battle map. So, gonna start off as it usually does, trying to take advantage of the blobbiness of the AI, blow apart a couple of units there, and the Sisters of Twilight opening up as well. And yeah, first wave of Dark Elves moving in. There's also some reinforcements over here, and there's a wee little Supreme Sorceress who's just hanging out here, and we'll be able to basically deal with her in our own time. I didn't know she was Beast. I thought she might have been Fire, so I probably put more emphasis on her in this battle than I maybe really needed to. We're also going to summon Gwendolor, and the Sisters will just be hanging out on their dragon. But yeah, just, oops, chaos here as the Dark Elves move forward. And the Blade Guard just make them pay for every step.
Enemy enchantment!
Oh, another big volley coming in here. Yeah, real nice. So the Blade Guard set up as we kind of normally have been doing. Eternal Guard in the center, some supporting units over here, mostly to draw attention and also to eventually surround and lay down enfilades. Going to drop Prey of Anathema on the Blackguard Corsairs here and give our Glade Guard a little bit of extra time so that we don't have to try and block them with Eternal Guard, because Eternal Guard will get shredded by then. And yeah, just Blade Guard being nightmarish. Ooh, a nice like breath attack there. Gonna just completely annihilate, nearly completely annihilate the Dread Spears. And as usual, we're in the back, being a pain in the butt. Using our Eagles to tie down their missile units, Dark Shards, and that kind of thing, and just keep them running while we deal with their front line. Over here, similar situation to our last Dark Elf battle, where like, the heroes managed to make it in, and our Eternal Guard are actually suffering pretty heavily there. Over here as well, but they're managing to block a lot of the missile fire, thankfully, from the front. And then our Great Stag Knights finishing off some of the stragglers. Now they're going to move in and try and deal with the reinforcement army, which of course are down to about 25% strength, a little bit less actually in terms of their HP, so they should have no problems with that. Those Dread Spears barely going to take any damage from that at all, but the Dark Shards are going to be happy with it. They're going to lose a number of health and models right off the charge. And yeah, we're just basically dealing with them piecemeal. More reinforcements from the garrison army coming up the hill. But a lot of these units now are just super isolated. And our Glade Guard are just kind of working around them. The biggest concentration that they have here is where the Master and the Lord is. They're going to get a little bit of reinforcements there from some of the Red Spears. There's already some Bleak Swords in there. But we do have a couple units of Eternal Guard and a Hero in there. And our Eternal Guard are taking a lot of damage from that, but yeah, well, it happens. And they're just going to be pinned in place while we deal very handily with these Blackguard Corsairs with their hand bows. They're really no match for the Azrai when it comes to ranged, so we'll rub them off. And then we're just going to continue to pursue, like kind of what we normally do. Once the enemy starts to retreat and they start to lose momentum, then we start to move forward with Blade Guard and things like that, and then we just finish them off. There is one really healthy unit of Dark Shards up there, which we'll have to deal with. Transformation of Kadon Eagles flying away. In the back here, these the Glade Knights are just cleaning things up and making sure that the full Dark Elf force can't be brought to bear at the same time. These are kind of just remnants, but you know, every little bit helps. And over here, these Dark Shards getting shot up. And I think the Glade Knights will probably finish with what they're doing here and then charge into the Dark Shards. Yeah, you can see them come up there through that hill. And then Eagles will land on the Dark Shards. And I think... oh, they're going to finish them off, and then they'll turn around and then sandwich those Dark Shards. Transformation of Kadon Eagles, trying to chase off their Lord. I think we end up getting her, or like very, very close to it. She might actually survive this battle, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, it's basically over. Dark Elves dead. We're just running down survivors at this point. So I'll see you guys back in the campaign. Ooh. Yeah, that went really well.
This is the price
let's
you
keep
pay.
that. Could we conceivably afford that? That will get everyone back to full strength for the next fight. I think we gotta risk it. Right, because they're gonna be coming down on us. Yeah, you can already see that army there from Harganeth? I think it's Harganeth. They haven't disembarked yet.
Battle.
So they
A
might not be
regrettable
able
necessity.
to. And this will give us enough HP and numbers, I think, to auto-resolve the rest of this. Let's see, we've got one other skill point that we can put into things. Casualty replenishments, movement range, that's really nice. Queen's Emissaries. Oh, even with the Dark Elves. Hey, well, that's a foregone conclusion at this point, so I don't really need that. Minus 10 upkeep, that'll help our funds. I don't know. Do we get to pick multiple of these? I think we do. So this is probably what we need for the time being. Great Eagle and such units get Vanguard. So we need to switch out her mount, which we can't do. Apparently we can't switch back to our old one. That's weird. I thought we would have been able to do that, but I guess we can't. Okay. Whoa, what just happened? Did our Lord disappear? Oh, she was gone for a second there. I was worried. I was like, did we kill her? Did I click something I didn't want to? Oh. This will be needed, for sure. To get up there quickly, so we don't lose the settlement. And if we can give ourselves any extra movement speed on the campaign map, I think that's probably the way to go. No, I don't want to give her a Great Eagle. It doesn't help too much right now. Magic resistance, missile resistance. The rest of this is really interesting. Or not really interesting. Like, we've got all the good stuff for her right now. We could do a more improved version of some of our baseline spells, but I don't know. Just don't know. Curse of Anra here might be useful for like gooning out lords, but like generally what I've been most comfortable with her is like keeping her back and not being super aggressive, because I can't micro that much stuff. I just can't. Well, maybe I'll get better at it as the campaign goes on, but research rate helps us everywhere though. It's only 3% in total for 3 skill points. That's just not worth it. Invigorate. Oh, immortality is apparently still a thing. She gets that in a couple of turns. That'll be nice. It'd be nice to have her as like sort of permanent, but we might not give it to her because it does kind of like remove a lot of the risk. I don't know. Maybe we will. Maybe that's the smart thing to do if we actually want to win the campaign. Added effect area. Well, let's do this and then try and use the spell more, I guess. Wilson's wild form. Maybe. Let's do this one. It's a really nice defensive spell. Dreamer of Dreams. The Dreaming Woods. Eighth Locale is a forbidden place, ruled by the worshippers of Slanesh. Ooh, very scary if you're an elf. Travel there is to flirt with madness and temptation, and those who emerge are either racked by lunacy or forged by the crucible of their experience. This one has walked through the fires of insanity. Interesting. Well.
We fight for the forest.
We'll need to finish this.
This is the life. It will be a glorious
Yeah, we gotta risk it. Risk it for the biscuit, and it was worth it. We only lost a little bit.
Thieves and usurpers!
Total destruction.
Regrettable, but necessary.
Hotek's column
They
might
cannot
revolt
remain a
if we
threat.
leave it for too long. Which it literally was. We were just managing to get things normal again.
To battle,
We'll
sister.
occupy it because we need it. We need the money too. Potion of Healing. That's super nice. Who do I want to give that to?
Twin defenders of the glades.
Perfected Dragon Pendant. Yeah, I'm not switching that out. That's too good. One of the heroes, though, might want it. I don't think she has anything special. The Terrifying Mask of... Yee! Well, we do like to get her into close combat. She could be really useful for, like, close quarter support that way, so we'll leave it on her. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Potion of Foolhardiness. That's not as useful for him as, say, a Potion of Healing, maybe? Or maybe it is. It's extra speed, gets some charge bonus, becomes unbreakable. Don't have any basic armor I could give you. Fire resistance, that's always nice to have. I have been throwing him into close combat a bit more, but let's just quickly see what she's got. She's got something really good. Okay, so you can have this for sure. What else does it do? Fire resistance, that's all it does. Okay. What do we have here? Chance of intercepting an army using underway or world routes. That's kind of cool and also like nicely thematic for him. Blade of Loek. Cool. Well, we won't be able to move him, so let's... We might lose that other settlement. Well, it is what it is, you know? Shadow. Extra ambush. That's always nice. Disciple. Assassinate action. 1% additional success. We can combine that with this, which actually gives him a really good assassination chance. I don't know. I don't usually like to play that way, and because I'm playing with, like, the agents, like, enemy agents can't do that stuff to us, I'm not going to do it to them, too, because that's just too easy. This is really nice, though. Piercing shots, extra missile strength. Your missile strength's already really good. And this will boost everyone you're near. So that seems like the smart thing to do. They're definitely going to drop over here on the next turn, and I don't think we'd be able to stop them. So maybe what we should do is just, like, demolish. That gives us 1200, which is nice. Let's see what this does. Refined Twilight Spear. I don't remember who has this, but I think it might be our Waystalker. Let's get that
Work of a true artisan.
Also unlock
Dave
another
wastes
Regiment
his
of Renown, which we
talents on
can't
a
actually
pacifist.
afford. And it's only 1200. What's the garrison there? It's gonna die anyway. But what if we manage to get there? We might manage it in the next turn,
Naestra.
and we'll have destroyed it for nothing.
Tempestuous Arahan.
It's not a big loss either way, so I won't agonize over it too much. Like the Trickster, 10 missile resistance for all elf units. That's actually quite nice. Especially if we're going to be fighting the Dark Elves. They lean into their Dark Shards pretty heavily. Hero action cost, Lore of Shadows. We really only get one good thing out of that. We will eventually be recruiting some heroes, so that might be nice. Campaign movement range, 5. It's extra movement range. We haven't done a lot of ambushing, but like maybe we will soon. And I think we probably will. Once we go to war with the Dark Elves, like, properly. Alright, let's build that. And then we'll put Untainted here to help with the public order for now. Alright, let's see what happens. It's a roll of the dice, really. We might just lose Circle of Destruction here. Yeah. What? Who are you? Oh, wow. Where are you from? Oh, that's Circle of Destruction. Sorry, I'm totally, like, off the rails here. Yeah, we're gonna lose it. That's a shame. We would have got some Azrai War Dancers and some other stuff. Like, if we had all of that, I don't think we could win. No, they've got, like, Masters and, like, a bunch of heroes and stuff. But might as well lose some of it. It's okay. That's okay. We'll get it back. First blood drawn by the Dark Elves. But we'll get it back. Of that I have no doubt.
They will know order.
We'll be able to move all the way up there and attack them.
There will
Almost
be blood.
all the way. Damn it. We can't ambush.
How delicious.
So we'll try that. We'll try that out. Maybe they won't even see us and they'll leave. Over here, Vol's Anvil can be upgraded. I could build another Waystone? Do I get benefits for building multiple Waystones in a single province, though? That's the real question. And it doesn't really need it. Chaos Corruption is pretty low and stable anyway. What's the garrison look like here? What about some economic buildings? I don't really have a lot of economic buildings that we can build outside of like our main settlements, so -5 upkeep, we've done that already. Sacrificial Grounds provides garrison of Glade Riders with Hagbane tips. Untainted in all regions, that's kind of nice. Public order in all provinces, post-battle loot in all places. Is there anything that gives us any sort of global, like global bonuses? There isn't. I'll give some Dryads and Sisters of the Thorn. I mean, I guess we might as well do that. Everything else, we're not making a lot of income in any of these places. Yeah, I guess Waystone's the way to go there too. It does give a beefy garrison as well. That's really the only reason to do it. House Hotech's column right now. They'll be okay for a bit. Well, let's see how it goes. Maybe the Haggrave forces will make the mistake of, well, our ambush is going to fail, but we should probably fight that one too. So that'll be the last battle for this episode. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you on the battlefield. And so here we are again. Opening battle, same kind of tactics. Like, we're kind of falling into a bit of a pattern here. So we've got their Dark Rider crossbows up front. We're going to deal with them as swiftly as possible using our mobility. I've also got the Sisters of Twilight nearby on their dragon. We're using the anti-large shot to try and finish them off quickly. I've got my Waystalker out here as well, just in the event that they try to maybe move forward and be aggressive or even chase the Hawk Riders. Then we can pin them down with the Prey of Anathrema and do a whole bunch of damage to them. But it looks like I'm actually just going to pop it early, because why not? It is an extra 20% missile, minus 20% missile resistance to the unit. So yeah, those Dark Riders with crossbows, they're going to fall apart super quickly. Volley of Kurnus coming in as well, shredding through those Blackheart Corsairs. Business as usual pretty well for this Azrai stack so far. Down we go again, kaboom. And the rest of the Dark Elves are kind of just, they don't really seem too sure about how to deal with it. all these units out front like this. Now, we do have another detachment over here in the woods. We've got some Glade Guard in the event that something tries to come through the woods and maybe surprise us, because the rest of our army is just kind of out here in the center. And the reason we've done that is because I want to fight them on an open field. I don't want trees and like the cover that can give them and the sort of disruption that can cause to our vision and our line of sight to get in the way. So I want to fight them out here, and then I want to bring things through the woods in the event that they don't try to utilize the forest at all. And indeed, they don't really have a whole lot of fast movers anyway, aside from the Dark Riders with crossbows that we just annihilated. I was thinking about maybe throwing Gwendolor in there. Ooh, yeah, big breath attack there. Shredding through a couple of units here, both, of course, there's the handbows and the Dreadspears as well. And now we're going to start to fall back here a little bit. And they're coming within line, or within range of the Glade Guard. So we're just going to open up on them. Got the Hawk Riders up there as well. Some more Dark Riders have come forth. And it's certainly something to be worried about because of all the Glade Guard that we have here. And my Prey of Anathema is currently on cooldown. So, just one sec. Sorry about that, I had to clear my throat. So my Prey of Anathema is currently on cooldown. So if those Dark Riders wanted to, they could potentially sweep away some of my Glade Guard here. But I do have Eagles nearby, and I do, of course, have Gwendolor and the Dragon. So I could body block them, stop them, and then just pound them to death with my Glade Guard from a safe distance. In the meanwhile, Sisters of Twilight currently shredding their infantry, and we're basically just doing what we do best here as the Wood Elves. So let's go ahead and kick it into full speed there. They're going to return fire with some crossbow bolts, but we're actually just going to get out of there so they don't hit us too easily. A whole bunch more of those crossbows coming in, but that's kind of going to miss, and some of that is going to go into the Dark Riders, who are going to charge home into my unguardable things. No idea why, but these Dark Riders now being pinned in place by spears and with eagles from the back, and they're going to be swiftly beaten down, and they're going to flee, and they're actually going to shatter so much damage. And then all hell breaking loose, basically, as the Dark Elves move forward and try to pick that melee fight where they can be so effective, but we're not going to give them that. We got a lot of units out front, and the AIs is kind of having problems here. A lot of units that are just kind of sitting around, and Sisters of Twilight are really taking advantage of that AoE anti-infantry shot, and our Glade Guard are just having a great time. So we're going to start to move forward now with our spears. Ooh, another big volley of Kurnus. Gonna chunk through more of those Dark Riders, and they've kind of, or not Dark Riders, but Dread Spears, and they've kind of reached critical mass here in the center. I've also begun to bring my Glade Knights out, and they're beating down some of these Dark Shards, and they're going to have a very bad time here. Yeah, this is really the perfect place for them. And we're just going to absolutely massacre them. I've got, I think, Gwendolor in the back here is tying down another unit of Dark Shards. And anything that comes near our front line is basically just getting shredded at this point. Yeah, we've got enough Glade Guard there, and they don't really have any mobility or a lot of magic even, really, that they could use to be a problem for us. I don't even know what's happened to their ward at this point. I think she's in here somewhere. Oh yeah, she's in there. She's a Sorceress Supreme, and we haven't seen a single spell yet. Now, whatever the dragon's name is, I forget. Cathan Har or something like that, and Sisters of Twilight are going to descend upon the Sorceress Supreme, and yep, she's not going to be long for this world. I don't know what is the rest of the Dark Elf. There is some reforming here, and like some of these units will come back, probably. I think these Corsairs here will definitely come back. They've got 18 leadership now, so we should see them reform momentarily, but yeah, everything else has just been basically destroyed. I've got some Glade Guard and stuff like that that came out of the tree line, and we're really giving it to the Dark Elves. Sorry about that. That's my notification. I forgot to turn that off. And yeah, so their infantry has been annihilated. The support units were annihilated. We managed to sweep their cavalry off the field really quickly, and now it's just sort of a general Dark Elf retreat. So I'm going to take my Glade Guard and start to focus them on Bleak Swords or on some of these Corsairs and stuff that are coming back, and just making sure that they stay gone forever. Just endless streams of colorful, like, arrow ribbons, essentially. They're just killing these little dark elves here with happiness, and it's going to be too much for them. They're going to go flee and be emo and miserable in a corner somewhere, and that's going to be army losses. Things are going to start to shatter, and it's another pretty easy victory. There will be some running down of survivors, and not too many of the dark elves will make it out of the field. But yeah, I'll see you guys back on the campaign map. Well, unfortunately, that little oopsie cost us one of our Eternal Guard for literally no reason. I just like jibbed the whole unit because I figured it wouldn't carry through, but then I was thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, it'll probably do that, and then it was too late and they're all dead. So oops.
This is the price you pay.
So we'll replenish the rest of them though. I guess it doesn't really
arrow
matter.
in the head.
I don't plan on moving on
Harmony
for a bit,
must
so I think this will be okay.
imposed.
They actually came to fight us for once, which was nice, so that'll kick them right out of the settlement. Should be able to kill that stack, then turn around and then take Circle of Destruction back. And then we can recruit back our Eternal Guard and sit for a couple of turns while we replenish.
Ariel favors me most.
Untrue, sister. Battle. A regrettable necessity.
Doesn't really change the auto
It will
result
be a
too much.
glorious battle.
Yeah, that's pretty easy.
Forgive us. There is no other way.
Looking
that.
for a fight.
Whisper in the Woods. Possible threat. Oof. I would like to get over there and do something about it, to be honest. There's a lot of enemies killed in battle. That was beautiful. I would have been shocked if nobody leveled up during that. Like, that was really good. That was a really
The
solid victory.
Sisters of Twilight.
I'll take this back now. We'll just occupy it like we did.
Bring me battle.
I guess I had an opportunity there to raise it, but honestly, I just wanted the money back. Let's see what this is going to give us. Daith is pleased. Pays her respects and leaves. Yeah, we don't really
Home
need
to
anything right now.
The
perfection.
Sisters of Twilight.
Sister,
Powerful new
give it to
weapon.
me.
I think that'd be really nice for our new lord. Although a talisman could be really good for his utility. Let's go with damage, because we were going to start working on the Zote Lord's close combat skills anyway. That's kind of nice.
Twin defenders of the
Extra
glades.
AP probably won't really matter too much for him, but 2 full skills, eh? Don't really know what else to get with him, you know? Line of sight is great. Ambush success chance is also nice. 30% campaign line of sight is actually really cool. That might be great for keeping like our wits about us, you know, because I haven't really been using like characters for
Order
scouts
is
or anything,
all.
so I think that's actually the way to go. Arcane Conduit. Already got that. Not gonna, yeah, we're running out of stuff to give her, aren't we? I guess research rate is the way to go, because that'll eventually give us 10% research rate. I guess. Her health is fine. She hasn't really been on the front lines anyway, because like we managed our missile units really well, and like lots of eagles and like lots of tanky stuff, so we don't really need to use her in that capacity. I guess the passive research rate is nice, unless there's something in the blue tree here. There's not really. Yeah, I guess research rate. Naestra's 21. Damn, they grow up so fast. It's beautiful. The vigilance, that's more campaign line of sight. That's really good. Replenishment would be nice. And I guess we'll build ourselves another Eternal Guard. And we'll leave that last slot open for something. I don't know what, but something. Let's go to the summer, Midsummer Sacrifice event. Where's my buildings that are damaged? Okay, that'll get everything back under control there. Circuit of Destruction. Yeah, it's gonna revolt. There's nothing we can do about it. Hopefully it doesn't go for Venom Glade. That would be a real big pain in my ass. The garrison there is such that, yeah, we wouldn't hold on. We would just lose. But what can we build here? Game Lodge, that's always nice. Batty off. These guys just love us. I'm so glad to have DJ Hot Tap on my side.
Lady of...
Still a war coordination target.
Do you have the answers I seek?
Shotek Mount. Yeah, that should be easy for him to take. And then we can just start taking stuff from Nagarond and just sort of like wage a war on them with our proxy ally.
Naestra, Arahan.
Yeah, and rebellion there, not really anything I can do about that. Let's give you your weapon, a dragon spear. What would be better for him? Twilight Spear, missile units, weapon strength. I don't want to take that from our other army. We need it. Because we're going to be walking into some real shit. Armor piercing weapon damage. It will increase our damage overall, which is good. This actually is really nice for him. It's a nice little like low-level art item to start him out with. +2 public order. He doesn't really need that, but I think we probably do. Yeah, we're just like a nice little like public order bomb, basically. No, you've got everything that you can have. So do you. Nothing else to be able to give you. So I guess that really doesn't leave us with too much choice. So we'll just give it to him. And you know what? Now that I think about it, it actually does synergize pretty nicely with what we want to do for him, because we wanted to go like full melee with him, right? And maybe a couple of units of Blade Slingers wouldn't be the worst. War Dancer and Blade Slinger units when we get there. So we're just setting him up for a bit of success. And the Swift Shiver Shards might not be the worst because they're closer range, but like they'll do lots of damage at close range. I'm not paying that premium for them though, because that's not a necessity. This, on the other hand, is a necessity, but that's, I think, is going to do for this episode. Hope you guys have enjoyed episode 5 so far, and potentially episode 6 will follow shortly, depending on what you guys want to see. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this so far, and I'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.